Athletes, welcome back to another great day of fitness. We've got the workout for you if you are looking for core work. We've got obliques, we got abs, we got lower back, we got glutes. It's all included, so get ready. Clara's with us, Philip's with us. We are ready to go. The warm-up is coming up next. Athletes, our warm-up is here. We are starting in 10 seconds. So we're gonna go ahead and start working our way through these movements that we have in the workout. I'm gonna have Clara and Philip go down to the floor for their sit-up positions. Now I'm gonna start with Clara first. Philip's gonna start on some quarter sit-ups, but for Clara, we are going through full ab mat sit-ups. So with this, you guys have the option of going with straight legs. You can butterfly your legs by putting your feet together if you want. Whatever you feel is not going to rub your back against the floor and strawberry yourself. Our range of motion is touching the ground behind our head and then sitting up so our shoulders pass our hip crease. For Philip, we're gonna have a quarter sit up. So it's the same movement, but here what we're doing is we've taken our arms out of the movement and he's gonna use his hands to figure out the range of motion. So Philip's picking a landmark on his legs, which is gonna be right below mid-thigh, and he's gonna reach up to that each time and then go back to full extension. With this movement, if you guys want to use an ab mat or not use an ab mat, it's your choice here. But make sure we're going back to full extension with that head back each time and then coming up. For our next movement, what we've got are our good mornings and RDLs. So we've got Clara on good mornings, we've got Philip on RDLs. With Clara's version, she's going to be weighting this with a dumbbell. Now we got two options here. The prescribed version is going to be holding that dumbbell in front on those shoulders with your hands. I want feet stanced out to where you would squat at, and then we're gonna think about pushing those hips back, keeping that back straight, and then coming up. You're gonna feel this all in your glutes and your hamstrings. If Clara needs to adjust, we can take the dumbbell down in front of us, and then we can do a dumbbell RDL. Same positioning, making sure that back is staying flat. Philip is doing RDLs with no weight. So with this one, we take those hands, slide them down our legs, and then we're gonna stand straight up. On each of these movements, think about engaging those glutes as you stand, and you'll get the most benefit here. The next thing that we have is we're gonna go into flutter kicks and single leg lifts. So what's gonna happen is that we are not using the ab mats for this, and I'm gonna show you the position that I want you to get in, and I want Clara and Philip to get in. We're gonna lay all the way back on the floor. Our easiest version is gonna be hands under our butt, and we're gonna bring those shoulders off the floor. From here, Philip's gonna lift one leg at a time, and we're not gonna go super high, so I'm gonna give Philip the range of motion to coming to here and then back down. Clara is going into her version. I want those toes pointed for me, and we're keeping that nice quick kick. The same thing with these single leg lifts. Go ahead and relax for me, Clara. With Philip, I'm not gonna have him hold the end range, so we're gonna come up and then right back down, right back down, right back down, just like that. Now, to make this movement a little bit more difficult, I can have athletes take their hands, put them across their chests, still keeping shoulders off the floor, and our hardest version is a hollow hold, so we're gonna take those hands overhead, shoulders still off the floor, and going through the same thing. Go ahead and relax. The next movement that we have is we're gonna go into a hip thrust. So with our hip thrust, Clara's gonna use a dumbbell, Philip's gonna go body weight on this. We take our feet, we move them back towards our hips. Clara takes the dumbbell, puts it on her hips. Philip is putting hands on the floor. And with this movement, I want you guys to focus on squeezing your glutes and then peeling that back off the floor so we get maximal engagement through our glutes and not just extension through our low back. If we don't do that prep work of engaging our glutes first, all you're doing is pushing your hips up, and you're gonna start to feel that in your low back, which we do not wanna do. At any point, Clara can take the dumbbell, throw it on the floor, and go body weight. Go ahead and relax. What we're gonna do next is that we have our oblique twists. So our oblique twists are gonna be no weight at all. We're gonna have Philip with his feet on the floor. Clara's gonna take those feet off the floor, and then we're gonna go back and forth. I'm gonna make athletes touch both hands to that far side. We are reaching. If Clara wants to cross her legs, then she can, and go ahead and relax. If we want to make this movement more difficult, you could grab a wall ball or a plate, and you can hold that in your hands going side to side. But for today, we're gonna go no weight here because we can make that tough enough by increasing that intensity. The last thing we have is gonna be our Superman and our alternating Supermans or bird dogs. So we're gonna start with Clara. Philip's gonna start with bird dogs for us. In this position, she's going into a gymnastics arch up position and right back down. There's no hold at the top, so you hit your top range of motion and down. When we go through this movement, you should feel your glutes engage, that low back engage, but not in a way that's gonna be painful or feeling like you're putting weight on a place that it shouldn't be. With this movement, I'm gonna come over to Philip, and Philip is going on his bird dog. So it's the same extension, but we're making this a little bit easier if you're not able to lay down on your front. If I wanna get Philip down on the floor, we can go into an alternating arch up here. So it's opposite hand, opposite foot, just like that. We're thinking about making ourselves as long as possible in this movement, so reach for the far wall with your toes and with your fingers and make yourself long when we go into that position. We're gonna go ahead and relax. I want you to get yourself ready because we are moving fast today. We got a 25-second, 5-second work scheme, and then we got a minute of rest, so you're giving me all the reps you possibly can, and then you earn that rest time. So get set, get ready, the workout is coming up next. Athletes, our workout is starting in 10 seconds, so go ahead and make your way to where you were doing your ab mat sit-ups or quarter sit-ups. We're moving fast, so get those tray tables in the upright and locked position. We are going in 2, 1, go! We've got 25 seconds of work here. So you guys are going to be working for the entirety of that 25 seconds, and I'm giving you a 5-second transition. I'm going to give you a 10-second warning and your 5-second warning. If you need a little bit more time to transition over to the other movement, you can begin that when I give you your 10-second. If you're here to try to work as hard as you can, you got your 10 seconds there. It's our 5-second warning now, so we're gonna go ahead and switch over into our RDLs and good mornings and go! So with this movement, we are going through as many reps as we possibly can here. Like I was saying before, I'm gonna give you a 10-second warning and a 5-second warning. You can make your transition anytime between there. You must start transitioning to the next movement when I give you that 5-second mark. We've got 10 seconds. We are going into our flutter kicks and single leg lifts, and this is our 5-second warning. So down on the floor for me, you gotta move quick here. We're going in 3, 2, 1, and flutter kicks. The most important part here is I've got to keep those shoulders off the floor. So I don't want you guys laying back and placing excess strain on our low back here. We've got Clara with her flutter kicks. We've got Philip with his single leg lifts. I want you guys to point those toes and keep that form and that range of motion tight for me. We've got 10 seconds. You guys can begin transitioning if you need to. We are going into our 5-second warning, and now we're onto our hip thrusts. So we can grab our dumbbell, we can go with our body weight, and go. We are squeezing those glutes, thinking about peeling that back off the floor. It's not just raising your hips because that's gonna overextend our low back. You should feel this in hamstrings and glutes. If you need a little bit more isolation there, you can move your heels closer to your glutes, and that's gonna give you better extension to your hips. That is your 10-second warning now. If you need to, you can start to move over to our oblique twist. 5 seconds. Now you gotta move. We're moving quick here. We're going in 3, 2, 1, go. We've got our feet off the floor. Clara is going into oblique twist. Get back over, there we go. Oblique twist, feet off the floor. Philip knew where he was going with that one. You guys are touching the ground on either side. If you want to make it difficult, you can keep those feet off the floor like Clara. If you need a little bit of assistance, you can keep those feet on the floor. That's your 10-second warning now. You're gonna think about going into those Supermans in 5 and 3, 2, 1, go. Now with these Supermans, we are arching up into that position for Clara, thinking about making ourselves as long as we possibly can. We've got Philip with our bird dogs here, focusing on getting extension through those glutes and through that posterior chain. You guys are working for me here. We are at the 10-second mark, but you get to go all the way through because the only thing we're gonna transition into next is our rest time. So we got 5 seconds. Keep going for me. Give me all the reps, Clara. Give me one more and rest. And that is it. Now you've earned your minute of rest. When I told you that those tray tables needed to be in the upright and locked position, I was serious because you got the flow of it now. You know the movements that we're going through. So during this time, you always know we're not gonna stand around. I need you to start moving for me. If you wanna move those hamstrings, if you wanna get into an arch, if you wanna get into a seal pose or get into a down dog position, get yourself ready because we got 2 more rounds of this core work coming your way. We're at the 30-second mark, and then we're gonna begin again from the start with our sit-ups. Now, if you're having difficulty with figuring out what the flow of this is, we are working for 25 seconds. If 25 seconds is too much, I want at least 20 seconds of work out of you. We've got 5 seconds transition. If you need a little bit more transition, you get that 10 seconds. Now, we are starting our sit-ups in 5 and 3, 2, 1, go. Now we are trying to match those same number of reps, find that same intensity that we had in round number 2. We've got Clara getting those shoulders past her hip crease, touching the ground behind her head. Philip is going back to full extension and then coming up, letting those fingertips go as far up on his legs as he can consistently reach. We have our 10-second warning right now. I need you guys to keep moving. If you're gonna go the full 25 and your 5 seconds, go ahead and switch over into our RDLs. So we're standing up and we're going now, go into those RDLs for me. We're gonna make sure that we're moving with intention, but we're also moving with purpose here. I don't wanna go so much intensity, I start to round out that back. So keep that back nice and straight. Only go down as far as you can until you feel that back want to start to round, and then you're gonna stand right back up by squeezing those glutes. It's your 10-second warning. If you wanna keep working for those 5 seconds, you can, and 5 seconds, we're switching over into our flutter kicks. We got single leg lifts and flutter kicks, and go! So point those toes, make yourself nice and long, and most importantly, get those shoulders off the floor. I need to see some daylight between your upper back and the ground, because that's gonna keep our core engaged the entire time. Keep working for me. I need you long. I need you moving consistently. We have our 10-second warning. You can keep working through if you can. We got dumbbell hip thrusts coming up next. 5 seconds, start to switch over for me, and 3, 2, 1, into hip thrusts. With this, we are squeezing those glutes and peeling your back off the floor. And remember, if you don't feel like you can get full extension through your hip, scoot those feet a little bit closer to your glutes and you're gonna be able to get more extension through your hips. I want you guys to keep moving. I know that burn is starting to set in because we're switching back and forth from core to posterior chain. You got 10 seconds on the clock, but keep working for me. We're over halfway through. We got 5 seconds, and 3, 2, 1. We are going into oblique twists now, so get those feet off the floor, Clara. Philip is going twisty twist here. We are touching the ground on either side. You're gonna feel this in the sides of your core or your sides of your abs. I want you guys to keep moving for me. Keep that intensity up. We got Clara crossing her feet to keep herself moving. We got the 10-second warning now. If you can give me a little bit more, keep going. And 5 seconds, you're over into your Superman or your bird dog position. We're going in 3, 2, 1, go. So you're arching up. You're giving me that nice long extension. So try to reach the opposite walls in your garage, your gym, or wherever you are. You are Stretch Armstrong right now. I need you to make yourself very, very long. We're gonna feel that through our posterior chain, hamstrings, glutes, and our low back. You guys get no rest, or you get rest after this, so there's no transition time on this one. We got 8 seconds left. Work all the way through this one. I want you to keep going for me in 3, 2, 1, and rest. You've got your minute, so use this wisely. If you want to stay on the floor like Claire's doing and giving me that seal pose, if you want to get into a down dog position, Claire's showing down dog, it's all the way up in the air, stretching out that posterior chain and your upper back. We got Philip doing our seal pose over here as well. I want you guys to utilize these rest times as best as you possibly can, and getting ourselves into a passive range of motion to where we can get ourselves nice and opened up for our next set is going to benefit us very, very well. We got 30 seconds on the clock, and then we're going into our last and final round. This is the core extravaganza today because we are doing all things abs, all things low back, all things glute, hamstrings. We're getting it in, and it's very quick today. We got 11 minutes of work. So if you have one of those days that you feel like you can't do anything because things are way too hectic, pull this one up, save it, bookmark it, and get in, because it's 11 minutes you gotta give me. We're going in 3 seconds, 2, 1, and go. We're going into our sit-ups again. Now you guys will notice this programming is slightly different if you're following the M30 track. But we're just mixing it up a little bit. We're gonna throw you a curveball because, as always, unknown and unknowable. So, you know, you're still getting the benefit out of it, but we want you to make sure there will be a difference between those which you'll see online and here today. We got 10-second warning, 10-second warning. This is our last round. Work all the way through to that 5 seconds, and then 3, 2, RDL time, and go. You're gonna pick that dumbbell up or pick your body weight up, and we are going through that range of motion, making sure we are isolating on those glutes and those hamstrings. Everything is 100%, all cylinders are firing. You guys are doing great. I want you to work all the way through the 25-second work period. If you've been stopping at the 20-second mark, I want you to give me those extra 5 seconds. This is the last one. We get to rest after this. And 5 seconds, we are going into our single leg lifts and flutter kicks. Make that transition quick because we're going now into flutter kicks and single leg lifts. Keep yourself long in that lower body and keep your shoulders off the floor. I know it's tough. I know you want to lay back, but protect that lower back. Take care of it, please, by keeping yourself in that position of, we got a little bit of a hollow hold going here. We've got 10 seconds on the clock, but you're still working. We're going all the way to the 25-second mark, which is now. You got 5 seconds of transition. We're going into our hip thrusts in 3, 2, 1, go. And again, don't give me so much intensity. You're dropping out of form here. I want you to squeeze your glutes in the bottom and then peel that back off the floor. Don't just lift your hips. You're not getting the benefit there. Your low back's gonna be angry at you tomorrow, and we wanna make sure that you're healthy, strong, and enjoying yourself during these. We got the 10-second mark, but you're still giving me 5 more seconds. Keep going. We got 3, 2, 1. That's our 5 seconds. We're going into oblique twists now in 3, 2, 1. Claire's starting early and getting these reps in extra. I'm not mad about it. Keep giving me these reps here. I want you to keep the intensity up. If you guys are following along with Philip and you want to challenge yourself by taking 1 foot off the floor, we're going to try that. Philip, give me 1 foot. There we go. And then we can switch to the other foot. Just like that, wonderful, keep working. We're at the 10-second mark, but we're still going for these last 5 seconds. It's the last time you gotta do oblique twists and rest. Supermans, get over onto your front. We are going in now. I want you guys to give me the Supermans or your your bird dog position. We're gonna get every single rep that we possibly can in here. I want legs together for Clara, pointing those toes, making ourselves nice and long. You need to be as long as you possibly can here. If you're doing it properly, you're gonna feel that in your glutes and your low back, and it'll be in a good way, not painful. I want you to keep moving here. We got 5 seconds left on the clock. Give me all the reps you have left, and time. That is it. That was a fast one. That was so fast. You guys are fitter than when you showed up. We had a great time here. We are so thankful you showed up. Throw your comments below. Let us know what your reps were. You should have been keeping track of that. If you didn't, then let's redo the workout and count those reps the second time, right? Just kidding with that. You guys did fantastic. Thank you so much. Clara, great work. Philip, great work. Stick around. Your cool down is coming up next. Athletes, great job once again. You guys showed up. You brought the effort. We loved having you with us today. Now, we want you to make sure that you're getting this fitness in every single day. And if you're not a part of the Mayhem Athlete community, got a secret. There's a 7-day free trial that you can start now, and you can find workouts just like the one that we did, or tons of other workouts that have focuses on functional fitness, CrossFit, bodybuilding, workouts at your home, on the road, in your hotel room, wherever you can move your body. We've got fitness to fit your lifestyle. You'll find a like-minded group of athletes and individuals that will encourage you along the way to your goals, whether it's being a little bit fitter each day or making it all the way to the competition floor. So if you're not a part of the Mayhem Athlete community, join us because you are an athlete, you just moved, and we would love to have you. Now, as always, your cool down is here, somewhere listed over Phil. You gotta stick around and do it because it's like your vitamins or your vegetables. You may not like it, but it's good for you. Because remember, your body just took care of you, so take care of your body. And as always, be good, be kind, and join us again for another great day of fitness.